How's everyone's Easter weekend?
It's good.
Great.
It's
Quite a
good.
lot of things popping off. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
Beyonce dropped, so that was good.
Fair.
I haven't actually had a chance to
Mhm.
listen to the full thing, but I listened to half of it. My favorite right now is American Wreck.
Requiem?
That's my favorite
Yeah,
one.
that's a good
Do you
Yeah.
want
song.
to? Oh, I thought you were going to be like, you think Beyonce is overrated? That would have been the clip I needed for this podcast.
No.
No, thank
I
Aisha
may
saying that
you.
say
on the internet. That would have.
I may say a lot of things, but that's surely not something I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Lolade, you're in North America where Easter Monday isn't a thing. That's you're back. You're back in capitalism.
Unfortunately, I really am. Here I am being a corporate slave on a Monday morning. So fun.
Yeah, to say. Guess what happened to me today, guys? And it's actually
What?
so apt that it happened today that we're recording.
What?
What?
Uh,
You
a
got
dog
robbed.
barked at me for no
Oh,
reason.
nice.
Literally, I was just walking down the street, and just because I'm black, it barked at me. I just like,
Oh, just because you're black, not because you're a terrible
yeah,
human.
yeah,
Okay,
no,
okay.
he doesn't know that. He doesn't know about that about me. I mean,
It
it's
does
that's true,
know.
but he doesn't
It
know.
can
No,
tell. It
I
can
was literally just
tell.
walking, and then and then the owner, a
Oh,
white
okay.
lady, goes, "No, that's not nice. Don't do that. Like, how
I
is that? How is that?
swear.
How you reprimand a dog? Like, that's not nice. Like,
Yeah, because she felt bad that you would interpret it as a race thing, which is an incorrect interpretation.
she should feel bad for several reasons, but that was a correct interpretation. The dog barked at me for no reason. Quite aggressively, actually. I don't know why you're defending this dog. This makes no sense to me. Like, defend your fellow human.
The
Were
dog
you
isn't in the
side
wrong.
eyeing the dog?
No, I was just walking my way,
The dog,
Okay.
and I just started
there's,
barking.
there's
Okay.
absolutely no way the dog is in the wrong in this.
What are you talking about? What does that even mean?
What kind of dog was it?
Look at who you're asking. Do you think what do you what
Was
do you think I
it
know about dogs?
No,
was
just
it a
describe the dog. Was it
chihuahua?
like
Yeah,
small?
describe
Was it
it. Yeah.
bigger? Like, was it?
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't like a small like dog that can be on your lap, but it also wasn't like a big. It was a normal dog. I don't know.
You
I
have a
think
long face.
kind of, yeah.
Mm. Those dogs are very discerning, so they definitely clocked your tea.
What? It
They
just
say
knows
that
that.
they say dogs that have long faces like are wise, like owls.
Okay, so what? The dog realized I'm a bad person. They started attacking me. Like
Dog.
I,
First of
I
all,
didn't
first of
do
all, first
anything.
of all, first of all,
It sounds like
hold
it
on.
sounds like the police. It sounds like a cop. Like he's just shooting first. Oh, like this guy looks bad. It literally stereotyped me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna bark first, ask questions later. Jesus
The
Christ,
dog
man.
literally didn't. Like, it didn't attack you. It just barked at you,
No,
and
no,
barking is a way of
if it
speaking.
wasn't on the leash, it would have attacked me.
Okay, all right. It could have been
Why
just
are you
saying hi.
defending this dog? This makes no sense to me. It wasn't saying hi. It was very aggressive. This
Well, that might
makes no
just be its way of saying hi. Maybe you don't understand the dog's language. It's an act
then
of translation.
why is its owner going, that's not nice, don't do that, whatever its stupid name was.
Because the owner knows that you are going to react badly. If the owner knows that you don't
Because
understand.
it was an aggressive but this makes no sense to me. At least
Oh
I
god.
know I have Lolade on my side. That's just like
Lottie is not on your
please.
side. She's just
He
happy
just
to do
want to
some
say
more
it.
mothering
I'm not
again.
anybody's side. I'm like Switzerland.
This is a
Sorry.
okay, let's talk about Kate Winslet, the
Kate
star,
Winslet. Yeah.
the regime.
Mm,
Should talk about the regime. Okay. Hello and welcome back to the Popcorn for Dinner podcast. And welcome to the once crumbling, now I think growing, unnamed country in Middle Europe. We'll talk about all of that in a second. I'm Bankole Mokwede, and we are back to talk about the series finale of The Regime.
Mm.
Today's kind of a packed episode because we're going to talk about the Regime finale and also a recent Prime Video release, How to Date Billy Walsh, and some movies that kind of like recommendations that were inspired by us watching that film. So, joining me one final time, talk about the end of the Elena and Herbert love relationship, the end of the regime. Guys, unfortunately, it's the last two people I would want to hide in the countryside with. It's Ayisha and Lolade. How you guys
Yo,
doing?
yo, yo, yo,
The first
yo.
random dog would see
wow.
Aisha will be like, oh hi, blowing her cover. Anyway, sorry, I'm still angry. Um How you guys doing?
Good. Good,
We're
good,
talking about
good,
the
good.
regime and dating Billy Walsh,
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
all of that
let's
stuff.
go. So much to say.
Um, so much to say, so much to say, and we have to be quick. So, guys, please, if you've stayed with us through this very weird and very convoluted the regime coverage, please, please, please share the podcast. Please rate and review on all podcast platforms. If you're watching on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, please subscribe. Um,
Yep.
this is the end of the regime, and closely following it is another HBO Sunday night show, which is The Sympathizer, starring Sandra Oh and Robert Downey Jr. Um, that starts next week. We'll be covering that as well. I think as much as we enjoyed parts of the regime season, I expect that to be the first legitimately great HBO show of the year. If you
We'll
like
see.
hearing
We'll
from, yeah,
see.
hopefully, fingers crossed. If you like hearing from Ayisha, I mean, good on you. But you can catch her talking about the latest adaptation of The Talented Mr. Ripley. Episodes 1 to 4 are out on the feed now, and 5 to 8 will be out
Yep.
next week. So please check that out. If you've read the books, if you, I can say I've watched halfway through of the season. It's different. Obviously, it's still following the same plot points, but it's kind of different from the movie. So please check
Mm-hmm.
that out.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew
Yeah.
Scott is back in his like nefarious bag. He was playing
Or
all
if you
cute,
just like me,
cutesy.
if you just like hearing my voice, comes here.
Uh,
Hear some more.
uh, sure. Yeah. Finally, Sugar, the guys, it's very good detective drama from Colin Farrell. Is out now. First 2 episodes are out on Apple TV. It's coming out weekly. We're going to be
Mm-hmm.
covering that fortnightly. So episode on the first two is out now. Now we're covering 3 and 4, and then 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Okay, the regime, because of the packed episode. This is the finale. It's titled "Don't Yet Rejoice." It's written by series creator Will Tracy and is directed by Jessica Hobbs. Who wants to go
Jessica,
first?
my
What are
bestie.
your general thoughts on this finale and where the show, I guess, ended up? Actually, no, I also just like the turns it took towards our destination because it was quite a topsy turvy episode. Lolade, your thoughts on the episode?
Lolly.
Yeah, I felt like this episode, I was like, whoa, this got very serious very fast. But I still like that there were elements in it where I was like, yeah, these people are insane. Where I'm just like it brings me back. And I remember,
Mm-hmm.
okay, yeah, like this is still Middle Europe. This is still Elena and Herbert, like two lunatics in
Elena and
Yeah.
her
an
homies.
insane country. But yeah, like I said, very serious, very fast. I think it was a good episode. I think it was a good way to end the show. Um, can I get into it? Specifics
Oh
or
yeah,
should
let's
I?
get this second. Let's Aisha, general thoughts on the
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, so I thought that it was great. I've, taken the turn since the last two episodes, and I've been having the time of my life. Um,
Mm-hmm.
no, it was great. They were it was just nice. And I think I agree with Lolade in terms of it did get quite serious, and there were moments where I was like, this is interesting, and to the point in which I was like, okay, I want to actually try and think about what this exactly they're trying to say here. So I think quite multi-layered, fun, little sponge
Mm-hmm.
cake, exciting. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
good.
If you were Herbert, how soon would you have just like got rid of Elena? Personally,
Well,
very early. Like when I'm like, Elena, let's go this way. And she's like, I want to go to my people. I'm like, I cannot with you. I am just gonna let you go do what you wanted to do and save myself.
Yeah, but
She
he
was stressing
loves
me out so
her.
much. Oh my
yes,
god, man. She
that's
was
He
a
loves
point that
her.
I would love to speak
And
about. Yeah.
mm,
yeah, he wasn't going to abandon Elena. I think we already saw
Mm.
this even right
Mhm.
before
Mhm.
he was even arrested when he killed Ed. Like he said it himself. He's like, I'm doing all these things for your
mm,
affection, for your love. He was never going to leave Elena. Uh,
No.
mm,
And I think that was
That's
shown throughout this episode, like how he really loves that. And I think this episode, I think, majorly showed that really actually it's very much a two-man show. It's really
mm,
more so about them as
yeah.
opposed to about all the other things I thought it was going to be about, which
Mhm.
is maybe makes Ed's death, Hugh Grant's death, actually make more sense to me now. So
yeah.
now I'm like, okay, I see what you're trying to do. Now I'm here.
Mm.
Mhm.
So yeah.
I want to talk about your love in a second as well. But just my own general thoughts. I think I was a bit colder on the episode than you guys. Um,
Mm.
I think the
Why?
beginning was I don't know. The beginning was a bit not stressful. Was a struggle for me. I don't know.
Really?
I think
Why was it a struggle for you? Is
maybe
rich people with a lot of privilege whining about having to be on the run, not your vibe,
yeah,
not your
and
trope?
no, no, but I also think I don't know if maybe I was taking too much of like the Elena. Like I'm just like Herbert is trying to save your life. You are being too annoying right now. Like I was just like all of that. But I think when Mr. Lanskin appears as the interrogator, like it goes into a gear, and I think I think I was thinking about maybe I missed them like interacting with the rest of their world. Like it
Yes.
was just them trying to hide
Mm-hmm.
and run away. And I was like, I'm tired of this. But once he comes in, and even again when that changes to Bartos, like it's still their world, and I like that whole dynamic. So it took me a bit to get into the episode. Um,
But
Aisha, you mentioned that, and Lodi,
mm-hmm,
I'm going to come to you in a second because I want to talk about your deeper thoughts. But Aisha, you mentioned about how this
mm-hmm,
show was probably just about them and their love, and we know what happens this episode. Herbert dies. Spoiler alert, I
mm-hmm.
guess.
Hmm.
And it all
Spoiler.
becomes almost like I think we my math is that this is now like a year later because this is the ninth, right? So we've
Mm-hmm.
done
Yeah.
7, 8, and 9. Um, and things are basically as normal now, and then but now her overlord is America, not China. Do
Mm-hmm.
you think her experience with Herbert, and maybe I should say this for the end, I don't know, her experience with Herbert or her love for Herbert,
Mm.
has that changed Elena in any way?
Oh,
Would you
absolutely.
see
It's absolutely
what?
changed her.
Hmm.
I mean,
And where do you see that?
so this topic for me is like the most intriguing and actually like the one that caused me to ruminate the most because obviously we end on him on her looking at his dead body, and obviously the father has been replaced by Herbert. But I do
Hmm.
Yeah.
think it's different in this case because with the father I think it was a sense of fear and a sense of control. And
Hmm.
Elena, I think the entire time was really, really yearning for autonomy. She wanted to make her own stake, and just that need to be and that real push to be, to be truly free or whatever. And I think that's through meeting Herbert, through kind of like succumbing to Herbert in a way, and through like the merging of both of them, she like learned kind of okay, what realm of freedom does she truly desire, and etc. Whereas I think now her putting Herbert in, in this, I don't know, memorializing him in that way is her way of paying him back in the only way she knows how, which is very fucked up for the love that
Hmm.
he gave her, I think.
Hmm.
So I think it's
And
more of a like exchange.
yeah, Lade, do you
Hmm.
have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, for sure. I
Mm.
definitely think Herbert changed her and her perspective. And I think he also changed her as a leader, if we look at it.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Um, the beginning of the show, we see that it's the holding company. Those are the
That's
people
true.
making the decisions. And
Mm.
they just sort of tell her what to do and sort of make it look like it's her idea.
Mm.
And I think Herbert came in and, like, obviously he was very manipulative at first, but specifically in the last episode, episode 5, when they were at Parliament, and then they were telling Herbert, like, right before Elena came, and they were telling Herbert, like, you need to tell her to do this, you need to
Mm-hmm.
make her see reason. And he's like, she's made her decision. That's what
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
she's going to do. We have to listen to her. So I felt like Herbert gave her sort of that sense of, I guess you can say, autonomy, but also like
Mm.
giving her the chance to make her own decisions and like feel
Mm-hmm.
like the chancellor, feel like the overall power. I mean,
Yeah.
she's still not a good person, but I think he still gave her that strength or that not motivation, support to be who she is now.
Yeah. One of my favorite lines in the episode is Parliament can be dissolved unless I dissolve it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I
Elena.
mean, but that's the thing, that line is interesting because it's the thing of like I don't think she's moved from captor to captor in a way.
Hmm.
I don't think she
Mm.
has, but I think it's the difference between independence and autonomy because I think she was fiercely looking for autonomy, which is basically like just wanting like the yearning to be free. I still don't
Mm.
think she's actually independent. She doesn't have freedom necessarily, and she's still like underneath something. But I think that's the choice that she's made because she's realized, yes, I am a shitty person and I do like my caviar. And in order for me to get my caviar, I'm going to have to live this life. So I feel like maybe Herbert maybe made her see reality more, like made her see the nuances and like living
Mm,
within that, like
Hmm.
mm,
living within it and also understanding you are living, you're making a choice to be within it, you know?
Yeah, the first victory day, the first episode in the banquet, that's a victory day celebration, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
mm,
and that is with like all the socialites and
Mm-hmm.
business dignitaries and people from
Yes.
internationally. And then this one is, albeit it's still like in a glass cage and from above because this is still Elena, but like it's with the people. And I'm just thinking about that now. Like, what you guys say about maybe that could be kind of Herbert's influence. Is like she is trying to reach out to the people the way I guess she thinks she can. Like she's
mm,
not having this party with Bartos and American
Mm-hmm.
people and the business 1%, but she's doing it quote unquote with the West Gators or the farmers and things like that. So I guess yeah, I was thinking about that because there's a line at the end when Nikki, the return
Mm-hmm.
of Nikki, is basically like, "What was that all about? Do you think
Nikki.
the whole of it?" Which could basically be a question about the show, and she's just
mm.
like, "Well, I think I had a little wobble. It's like it's not really a definitive statement and everything. You can tell
In
that
her
she's hiding something
face.
behind.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say
Yeah,
that in
yeah,
her
exactly.
face, you could tell that it isn't. Yeah, that isn't that surface level answer from her.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's interesting. I'm no not interested. I'm intrigued that both of you universally agree that yeah, Herbert obviously influenced her, and that's like it makes sense. Your points make sense. Um, is the point of this show also just like America always gets its way?
So this is really interesting that you actually said that because I did think about that a lot while I was watching because Lolade is so right in what she said about the style in terms of it did get way more serious. I do think they were hitting us
Hmm.
on the head with with everything they wanted to show us in this episode. It was
Mhm.
very conclusory. Like if you didn't know what our show was, now you know. I don't necessarily think it's
Yeah.
America wins. I think it's like you always have an overlord. You always have someone you are answering to, and you can't like kind of like that quest for complete freedom in itself is a waste of time, you know. And
Okay.
I think that maybe is it because you have that line where I think it's Bartos says to her, "You must do as you like." You know, like you're in control here.
You're in control. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I'm
must
like
do as you
sure.
like.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, she's completely not in control.
Yeah.
And it's
Hmm.
just that thing of like she was searching for autonomy all this time, you know, and in the end, she never really had independence. In the end, she never really had what she wanted. But I think it's that thing of her face when, what's his name, Nikki asks, is her understanding that there'll be parts of herself that she would never fully like or like what she's become. But
Mm,
it's a trade, it's a trade off in the way. And just to quickly also say another thing before I forget is also I thought, especially also in the interrogation scene, there was a lot about far right, far left going on,
Hmm. Hmm.
and on in the show, there's been loads of that, and I think that was when it was the first time I got hit on the head with it, where I was like, okay, this show is basically a satire of really everyone would say that here's your captor, let me liberate you by,
Hmm.
giving you these things and you believing in my ideologies. But really, you're just going, you're just further imprisoning yourself in a different way that you just don't understand yet. And like, that's what they're like playing with so much with this. And then it makes sense because like Herbert being, a country dude, military, it being set in Central Europe, Elena being who Elena is, and then everything just kind of comes together in that way. So yeah.
Yeah. Um. Lord, I'm gonna come to you in a second as well. I made this joke at this point if you tell me the podcast, but I'll just repeat it. The one thing I try to avoid doing is like for those of us who did like literature in secondary school, like our
Hmm.
teacher would say, "This is what the poet meant. This is
Hmm.
what the author was." Saying. Like, how do you like?
Hmm.
No, he just wrote that because that word sounded nice. Like, you don't
Yeah,
know what that
exactly.
means.
Exactly.
But
Hmm.
so this is gonna be one of those points. I apologize, but I just when you were talking about her still kind of being in prison and everything, I just thought it was interesting that like she gives that speech in a cage.
Yeah.
mm,
Herbert ends the show in a cage. Both
Yeah.
they're both glass cages where you can see in
Yeah.
and out, but it's still
Yeah.
kind of like the glass
Hundred
cage.
and ten
Yeah.
percent. I think
Yeah.
we could all of those other episodes say, okay, maybe they didn't have this double meaning to it, or maybe they didn't want us to look at
Hmm.
it in a more in depth way. But with this episode, I don't think you can go away saying that. Like they really were hitting us with it, like every chance that they could. They were trying to tell us, like, okay, like we've done this fun show, but we actually are trying to say at least a bit of something within it. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. My thing about America was that I think it's not a. I think you're right. They're like you always have an overload, especially if you're a country like Elena's country. But it can be a coincidence that it's America. Like it can be
No, definitely
because
not.
of how she's insulted America all season. How
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm,
the points, the tea she's spilled, like all the things she said. And I think the way Senator Hope has been used this season is very interesting because we've seen her in 3 episodes. And the
Hmm.
first time it was like literally a physical interaction. We saw her
mhm,
body, like everything happened. The next
mhm.
time she's a talking head on CNN, and then the third time she's like a
Yes,
God voice. She's the voice of God,
yes,
and it's just
yes.
like she's gone so much farther into the background that she's basically just like
Mhm,
manipulating things
mhm,
from the shadows, and it's just yeah, I think the way they've used that character is very very interesting. Again, just in the way like America just shadow controls all these smaller countries and
mhm,
gets their way eventually and things
mhm.
like that. Lottie, thoughts on America? Thoughts on Cage? You say you had deeper thoughts on the episode.
Yeah, no,
Tell
I definitely
us.
agree with both of you. I do think it's a thing of America gets what they want at the end of the day, and like you can revolt all you want at
Oh,
the end
sorry,
of
and
the
just to be
day.
clear, that's not like it's not like a good thing. It's not like a go
It's
America
not a
go
good
thing. I
thing,
don't think they mean it
no.
like yeah, they mean it like this
Yeah,
country is
no,
fucked
it's
and
a
we're
bad
yeah, yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Um, it's a thing of you can revolt all you want. At the end of the day, you're gonna play ball and you're gonna play by our rules,
Mm,
and we're gonna make you pay essentially, which is what they made Elena do. Um, I mean,
Yeah,
at the end of the
everyone got
show,
their
we
lick back.
can yeah, we can conclude that America is now controlling Middle Europe. They're controlling Elena
yeah,
Mm.
essentially.
yeah.
But it's also yeah. I mean, what government in the world? I'm really not trying to go into politics too much, but like,
Mhm.
there's there's always a Western influence
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
in governments, and I feel like this show has been telling us since episode one, and it's great that they made it America, but like this episode specifically was like, I wasn't hinting at it. I'm telling you this is what it
Hmm.
is.
Hmm.
um
Yeah.
Deeper thoughts on the episode. I'm gonna go back
Mm.
to Nikki. I think
Okay.
the choice of words that he used was very interesting. He referred to it as a tricky patch, a
Hmm.
whole year in their lives, a whole year that turned everything around. There was a
Yeah,
coup, there was a lot. She had an affair, like
he
so
almost
much
died.
happened. He
He
almost
almost killed
died. He
himself.
almost killed himself. And I think it's very interesting that he referred to it as, what do you think that tricky patch was about? Like, what was
Hmm.
that about? And for her to say, I guess I had a little wobble, is it's it's really something. Um
It's also, I think,
the
very
word
British though. I think
Yeah,
that's one of the
yeah.
most British like centric things, that intonation, and also that's such a
uh-huh.
like typical British conversation of like you had a terrible time, but you're just like, yeah, just a little wobble,
It's-
like you know.
Yeah.
yeah. It was
Nothing too
just
serious.
it was just so I don't know. I thought it was
Yeah,
really
no,
good.
but also like Nicky's like he obviously wants to press on, but he's not gonna press on. He's just gonna okay, fine, wobble, we'll take it,
Yeah.
we'll take it like that. You guys have mentioned the lack of subtlety in this episode, and
Mm.
she talked about China and their cancerous 5G
Yeah,
network, and I was like, okay. I was like, sure. You guys just had to put that like it was like you were like
I
just in
mean,
case you were not clear enough, this is what we're
I
talking
was like,
about. This
what?
I was like, well, okay. I was like, sure.
So on the nose.
I was like, yeah, I know who that is. We know who those people are. That's fine. Um, we can spend a few minutes talking. So this during this speech, during this thing, I was
Mm,
because to me, and maybe I missed it all season, but this was again the most pronounced the lip thing had been since like the beginning of the season.
Mhm.
mm.
And I'm sure there have been parts in the season I just didn't notice. But like, it's so
At the
funny.
start of the episode as well, at the start of this episode when she was running and she was in the forest, the lip thing was at its max too. I noticed that
Was
as
it?
well. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, then that doesn't help the theory I had then.
I'm
That actually
sorry. Okay,
disqualifies it.
I just
No,
assumed.
yes. No, because when I was watching that speech, the thing that came to my head, like literally the phrase that came to my head was like talking out of both sides of your mouth.
Oh, that's
Like
right. I think that's nice. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
and
good.
obviously that means like to lie or to like say different things to different people.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, does she literally do that when either when she knows she's lying or when she's trying to manipulate people and things like that? It doesn't really help in the beginning of the episode because I guess wait, when she was talking
No,
to
no. I
Herbert?
think yeah. When she was running away, right before the papers start falling, and she,
Yeah, okay.
I think your point still
I think
necessarily
it's
makes
still
sense.
valid.
I thought it was really funny, just to bring it back to that really quickly. What I thought was
Yeah.
particularly really funny when she said, "I can't be in a state of being like I'm just some person surviving." It was just like, that's literally everyone. Like we all, that's what we're all doing.
Oh no,
Like we're all here trying to
yeah,
do
I
that.
think Kate Winslet was very funny there. Like even some of the physical comedy had just like walking towards there and running away from the gunshots. It was very funny. It was very funny. It was very annoying. Like if I was Herbert, I'd be very annoyed. But it was very funny.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I was gonna add to your point, which was she was also talking about both sides of her mouth there, because I thought it was quite funny that she's running for her life and she's still trying to strategize. Like, I'll just call Nikki. I'll tell Nikki that
fair.
I'll do this. So I do
That's
think
fair. Yeah.
you're right. It adds to your point. It definitely adds to your point.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um. Yeah. Herbert. So before he dies, realizes that she's probably lying to him. That
Mm,
breaks his heart.
hmm
Do we think Elena loved Herbert?
I think she did.
I think she
I was
did.
gonna say I think we see a very vulnerable side of Elena in this episode.
We
Mm-hmm.
do.
After her talk with Emil when
Yeah.
she's
Mm,
about to shower and then she takes off the wig and then we see
mm,
like her hair.
Mm-hmm.
I think that conversation she had with Herbert in bed, not the one
hmm
before. I
Yeah.
don't know. I
mm,
Because
feel
she's
like
lying on the one in the
in the
pool.
one, yeah.
She's lying there.
Um,
Yeah.
I think we do see a very vulnerable side of her. I do think she loved Herbert. Maybe not
Mm-hmm.
as
mm.
much as he loved her, but
Definitely
He loved
not.
her so much.
Definitely not.
yeah,
Definitely not
he
as much.
he definitely she loved him. She loved Herbert.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Do you
Yeah, I
guys
think.
think
Sorry. Hmm.
I was gonna say, do you guys think she knew when they were gonna kill him?
Yeah.
And that's why she planned for them to be in bed.
You think
Yeah.
she
I
knew? So
think.
she
I
wanted to
think.
be there when he was killed.
I felt like she knew.
Okay, that's fair.
I think yeah. I definitely think she would have. She knew, because that whole thing was shot like a dream sequence in a way that I thought
It
Mm-hmm.
someone had already been
was,
dead.
yeah.
Like it actually,
Mm.
once we start to get towards the whole visuals of the show, like that's why I think it's like so unsubtle, because it starts to
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
look a bit like a set once you get into the interrogation scene, and it's really
Yeah.
dark, and then after getting dark the tone changed, and then it starts to get like very very like white and like hospital
Hmm.
lighting
Yeah.
type of like clinical, and then it's shot like a dream sequence when they're in bed, and I thought, okay, is someone already dead? And then I realized, no,
Yeah.
that's not what it was. So I do think I would
Yeah.
suspect that she knew.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to. There's that scene where the it changes from I guess night to day, which goes
Mm,
back to your thing of like a set and like a play. Like you
yeah.
could have you watching a play and then they change the lighting from black to white and you're like, oh, so yeah, that was I like that the transition there. Um, Even again, back to theatricality, when they bring out the canister and they like
Hmm.
black mold on it, like I start laughing.
It
And I'm
was
Yeah.
so
like, if
fun.
this was any other show, not a HBO show, I'd be like, this is bad attention to detail.
That
So, but
was
like here, I want to give them a bit of the
so
I'm like,
funny.
they just
No,
wrote black mold on it. They just
that
wrote
was
black mold.
definitely intentional, and I think that was when I
It
thought to
was. It
myself,
was to
like,
scare her.
everyone is a fool. Nobody has anything. When I forgot his name was interrogating her, and she, he's trying to say all these things, and she goes, "You don't have the numbers. You don't have the numbers,
Yeah.
Piggy Wiggy," which is really funny. But
You couldn't
um,
you couldn't offer you couldn't order a fucking dinner or something, she said.
You
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
order a
you couldn't
fucking
order a fucking
omelet.
omelet.
Omelette.
No, and it just made me realize like
I was
everyone
like,
is playing this game and no one knows what they're
so
doing.
it's so funny because it means that Laskin, who is the head of the security service, has decided that he's just going to write black mode on this canister
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to convince her that it's black mode,
And
and
Yeah,
then
she
also the
it
chancellor of
worked.
this country believes that it's black mode just
It
because black mode
worked.
is written. Everyone is just stupid.
no, but
Everyone is
they
just
didn't
not
even
smart.
need to. They didn't even need to. Even he doesn't even need to. He doesn't even need to believe it. It's all about like her own self-inflicted fears got her in the end. Like everything that she was
Mm.
so
Yeah,
scared of happening happened to her in the end.
yeah. Yeah, it was just I was like, okay, this is clearly not a movie that a show that's like
Oh
again
no.
back to what I said yesterday. Nothing here is this is not reality. Oh, sorry, not yesterday, last week.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on the show before we move on to our other topic? This is the final
Um.
time I talk about the regime because it will not be on my top 10 list, unfortunately.
I don't know. I think.
As
I
much
think.
as I enjoyed
I
it.
think that this episode was for me really like it did a lot of things, and I think the groundwork they laid in the last episode, seeing Elena and trying to like expose the real Elena and her depth really helped for in context with this episode too. And I don't know,
Hmm.
I feel a bit like I've just like I've slowly understood what they're trying to do, and I'm now like okay,
You're
I
itching
want
for
to
a
rewatch
rewatch,
it.
aren't you?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I
Honestly, you're itching for a
yeah,
rewatch.
I have to. I have to now. I think this show begs a rewatch, and I think upon rewatching, perhaps you'll feel differently about the show. I think
Yeah.
so.
Oh, I mean, I enjoyed the show. I had a good time. I'd like I'm not I don't think I'm oblivious. I understand what it was.
Mm.
I don't
No, but
think like
you are not rewatching, are you?
oh no, I don't think I watch it.
Exactly.
No, unfortunately. With all due with all due respect, I enjoyed the show. Like, I enjoyed covering the show with you guys, but it's not like it's a chaotic show. It's a show like we said that
Hmm.
they're building the boat as they're
Mm.
riding the wave.
Yeah.
Like it's yeah, it's not. It doesn't. I don't tend to rewatch this kind of shows. I tend to rewatch shows that I feel like a lot more in
Refined.
like yes, refined is the word.
Mm.
But
No,
again, enjoyed
that's
it.
fair. I
Enjoyed
like a
the
bit of
show quite a
mess.
bit.
I like a bit of
Snob.
mess. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
Film
I don't,
snob.
that's how is that a film? How is that film snobbery? How
Exactly.
I
Don't ask me
Exactly.
to explain.
And
If you
it's
know,
so
you
funny. It's
know.
so funny because that's what I'm accused of. Yet, look at the difference here.
no. How is how I
Is
am?
what it is.
If anything,
Refined.
actually,
You use the word refined,
Ayisha used the word refined.
but
I
you
just
And
took
he
Ayisha's
agreed
word.
agreed. And he
I
agreed. And he
wholeheartedly.
said
You
because
yes.
you know what? Because
decided to
as an
agree.
ally, I did not want to negate the black woman's point. As an
Oh,
ally,
Okay.
I wanted to
oh,
Okay.
I wanted to
brother,
uplift
Okay
her.
then. Okay
please.
then. All right.
um, well, I mean, we're fine, but like I guess in a structure in the box, I don't know where to put it in that makes sense. But
Mm,
I enjoyed the show. I don't think I've never like throughout our coverage. I've never really been on the wrong side of the show. I've enjoyed the show quite a bit. Uh, I think
Hmm.
I think Kate Winslet, Matthias. Oh, I apologize. I think I just messed up his last name. Matthias Schoenaerts and Andrea Riseborough. I think the performances were
Hmm.
very, very good. I enjoyed all of them
Hmm.
in every scene they were in.
mm,
Like I said, I like every older British actor in the world,
Hmm.
so I quite
Yeah, I
enjoyed
mean, that's your spec.
the holding company. Yeah, yeah, just like I enjoyed the holding company. So yeah, no, I enjoyed the show quite a bit. Okay, any
Laws of
parting words?
Doodles. What do you think?
I liked it from the first episode. It's very different, which is something I really liked. It it was fun. It was engaging. I mean,
Yeah,
it was a great six weeks to be honest, and then getting to discuss it with you guys was fun as well. But the show is good for me. Again, I don't know if it'll make top 10 for the year. We'll see, but
yeah.
I definitely would rewatch it. It's
Yeah.
not a bad
I would
show. It's
rewatch
good.
the show with someone though. Like if
Okay.
someone I knew was watching the show, I would rewatch it
With
with
Kate
them.
Winslet
I wouldn't be like, nah, fuck that. I just wouldn't
after you've
rewatch it.
had like a 2 hour dinner.
Like if I would watch Room, like the Tommy Wiseau film with Kate Winslet. I'll watch whatever she wanted to watch. Um, Aisha, any final words on the show? You went
um
on the wildest journey out of the three of us
You
regarding
really
this show.
did.
Yes.
Yeah, so like
Which
I don't know why
is
everybody's
like
coming for me.
which is the epitome of literally me as a person. But honestly,
Oh.
no, like yeah, I'm gonna miss this world. I'm really gonna miss them. And when they did the
Hmm.
"If You Leave Me Now" by Chicago at the end, which is one of my like I love that song, and they played. I was like, oh wow, you're really like pulling on the heartstrings. I don't know.
Mm.
But I just want to say something in
Yeah.
notice that I enjoyed porting with you guys and, tussling with Bankole. I'm sure Lorde will be happy that she doesn't have to mother anymore. She can take a day off now.
I'm gonna miss
um,
it.
but yeah, no, yeah, our love will stay with you forever, like Elena
Ooh.
says.
Yes,
Hope, hope,
bless
my
our
hope our
love.
love guides you. This our
Yes.
love. Yeah,
Oh my
that's
god, what a beggy woman. Such a beg. She's just
my
begging,
God.
begging her constituents for love. What's Elena Vernon, man? Okay, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about more love. How to date Billy
Yeah,
Walsh.
love is in the
Hmm.
air. Spring has sprung.
Okay, How to Date Billy Walsh. This is the latest Prime Video film release. Came out on
Mm,
April 5th,
mm,
last Friday. It is written by Alexander J. Farrell and Greer Ellison and directed by
mm,
Alex Sanjeev Pillai, and is
mm,
starring Sebastian Croft, Charithra Chandran, I think Bridgerton,
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
Bridgerton.
um, and Tana Buchanan. Okay,
Yeah.
I haven't seen this movie, unfortunately. Didn't have the time to make
Hmm.
it, but you guys have. So
Hmm.
what? Let's do something. Why didn't you guys pitch this movie to me? Like,
You didn't see the movie, but
tell
we did because you got your slaves to do it for you, right?
you know what? Delegation. Not the whip,
Slave
Lordy.
driver
Not the
101.
whip.
By the way, guys, you can't. Oh, wait, actually, no, maybe you will see this, but Lottie just did a nice little whip.
Yes, not the whip. Can we
It's
talk about
waxed us on
that
the
slave driver
bottom.
word? That word, slave driver.
What's wrong with
Like,
it?
I didn't realize till when I was way too old, just like what it meant. Like it's not hidden, literally right there, slave driver.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But like it was part of my lexicon for so long because like literally, s- the word slave driver is in the Flintstones. So I just in my head it was just like a normal way. It was just like, it didn't even. I was like it didn't clock that it was actually about slaves. Does this make sense to anybody? Like
Oh
I just thought it was like
god.
a very innocent word, and I was like, oh wait, no, it's literally about slaves. They were just talking about slave drivers on the Flintstones. That's so weird. Anyway,
Mhm.
so I always feel awkward using that word now. Um, but that's just me as a nigga. Okay, so
Ooh.
okay, so you guys have seen How to Date Billy Walsh. I'm sorry, I apologize to anyone who's listening to this. And yeah, anyway, pitch it to me as someone who hasn't seen this film. Why? And I guess to anyone else who's listening who hasn't seen this film.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
If you are into the childhood best friends to lovers trope, I think you'll really
Yes.
enjoy this.
Yes.
Um, that's the main theme, to be honest. What else? What other themes do you see there, Aisha?
Why are there so
Yes.
many
So
romantic tropes? So there's best friends, there's childhood best friends to lovers, and
they're
there's also
actually not
best friends
enough.
to lovers.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah,
There's okay. So
And
there's the main ones:
uh-huh.
best
Mm,
friends to
okay,
lovers. There is enemies to lovers. There is
love,
okay.
fake
there's
dating,
fake dating. Uh huh.
love.
And what's it? There's one
What
more.
But
else?
wait, but
Brother's
childhood best
best
friends to love.
friend.
Oh my
Brother's
god,
Yeah,
best friend.
brother's
yeah,
best friend.
brother's best
Yeah,
friend. Um, uh, brother's
other
best
tropes.
friend.
There's so many tropes now. Ugh, why am I blanking? Um,
Is ex's best friend a trope?
Oh my gosh, there's that
second
song by
chance.
Victoria
No, there's no
Justice about
best
brother's
friend.
best friend.
There's
Yeah.
exes to lovers again, so there's
Yes,
second
exes,
chance.
and that's
There's
second chance romance. Yeah,
second chance romance, lovely. There's
yeah.
single parent tropes.
Single parent tropes. Yeah.
Explain single parent trope.
It's basically like they
So
have a
it
kid
could, yeah, it could be
Also,
like,
single parents just meet up.
with other
no,
people.
that there's also maybe she got pregnant from a one night stand. She couldn't find him.
Yes,
They find each other again, and then
yes,
he realizes she has a
yes,
kid. It's
There
really
are
yes,
good.
multiple films in
yes,
this with this
yes,
genre.
Yeah.
yes. I think we've covered the gamut of them, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those are
Jokes.
the main ones. Yeah.
So Lolly is so right what she says is friends lovers. I think that and
Hmm.
if you like cottage core, kind of like I think cottage core is kind
Like
of like
what,
it's
like
kind of like a
Hallmark films?
yeah, Hallmark films, kind of that magical countryside
Mm-hmm.
gleam. I think it was really
The
shot in a
Hmm.
very like magical way, contrast and a lot of that was how it was shot and
Yeah.
it's very
it's also
like
very
what do you say?
very British as well. If you're into
Yeah,
the whole British
extremely
thing.
British. I would say the interiors are quite nice. Like set design is cool in the movie. Actually, it's fun.
I think you need to have
Uh,
good set design for a rom com, don't you? Like you need to
Mm.
you
like
do,
we want to be happy in that world because
you
we want
do.
to feel warm and cuddly and stuff like that. What is this movie about? Like,
Friends
what's the
lovers,
general plot? No, no
friends
spoilers.
lovers. Yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
that's what it
so who is
is.
the third person? Because there's a third name in the cast list.
that
Billy Walsh.
is yeah. That is Billy Walsh, and that is the
Oh, so this is
trigger
like okay,
to
okay.
their love
She doesn't
story.
actually want to date Billy Walsh. Billy Walsh is, no, she wants to date Billy Walsh, but sometimes she ends up with is the best friend who is not Billy
Yeah,
Walsh.
who's not
Yeah,
Billy Walsh?
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
that's what am I thinking about? That's like yeah, that's the it's not really Cyrano, but it's the kind of like the Cyrano version, I guess.
Yes, exactly,
Um,
exactly. No, you're
Mm.
right. You're right. You're right.
okay, you guys. Okay, any other thing you want to talk about the film that you can pitch to people? Because we don't want to. I mean, I'll say spoilers, but like I don't know what you can really spoil in a movie like this because we kind of know the plot already.
I
But like anything you
mean,
want to say about pitching the film to listeners?
Yeah, I mean, if you're like hanging out, if you're having like a girls' night and you're just looking for a fun little cute high school
to
romance
watch.
movie to
Yeah.
watch, you can definitely put
Where
that
is
on.
it set?
In the UK.
Mm,
Well, does
yeah.
it say where in the UK?
What?
I don't remember where it
I don't
is. It's
remember.
like
I don't think it
countryside. It's
does. Yeah.
countryside nearby
Okay.
there. I think I yeah, if you're looking for a cute thing to watch, I felt that it was extremely contemporary. So like if
Hmm.
you're someone that like I said, you like cottage core, like it was, TikTok trends like that and etc. Like this
Mm,
movie is trying to incorporate that even within its filming. So it's very, very
Hmm.
current. So yeah, I would say of all ages, anyone can put this one on and yeah, it's nice. It has some fun things, the American versus the English with both of the male interests. The music was quite good, I thought
Okay.
too. So, yeah.
Okay. What do you, if you were to recommend one genre to me from the little or a lot you know about me, which one would it be?
Oh, you
Of
mean
like
out of the
rom
out of the
coms?
tropes? Out of the tropes.
Yeah, out of the trope. Sorry, not genre. Yeah, out of the trope.
Oh, you
hmm.
would. Okay, okay. Woof. I feel like I've come to
I
play.
think.
You,
Jesus. I've unleashed Ayisha.
Lola, did you want to go before me? I want some time to think.
Oh, go for it. I think you would definitely enjoy a workplace romance, and
It's
True.
funny you say that because I
you
was
would
gonna say.
enjoy. Go
So
ahead.
disclaimer: I don't love Jim and Pam on The Office.
Yeah, you didn't let me finish.
Oh, I'll tell you who I am as a person.
Okay,
Maybe
you
that will
don't like.
help your
Why don't you like Jim
recommendations.
and Pam? Why they're too
I
happy?
I think no, I think Dwight and Angela is the better relationship. I think
He's
everybody just
dark,
doesn't talk
dark, and he
about them.
doesn't like
Exactly. Let me
happiness.
finish. You're gonna like a
Okay.
workplace romance, but you're gonna
Uh-huh.
want it to be an enemies to lovers workplace romance,
Probably
or a
actually.
forbidden love. You seem like the type.
Do
Ooh.
you know what? I actually disagree with
Okay.
enemies to lovers. I feel like
You
Bankole
think so?
like is yeah, because I feel like he like is I don't know, like it's that water sign energy. Like he be too
Mm,
easily hurt by like the enemies to sometimes
No, no, no.
enemies at first they tussle a bit
it's
too
good
much,
though.
and I think
Yeah, I think
he may
that's
If
the
it's
fun
good tussling, I
part.
don't mind it.
That's the fun part. I mean,
I don't
Bangladesh
know. I
likes
don't
to
know. Can
tussle.
you
From what
handle the
I've
heat
seen.
of a true enemies
Mm.
romance, Bankole? I'm not sure.
I mean, are there big examples of enemies to lovers that you can think of
Yeah, I think I'm
Um,
gonna
I
give
might have
you
seen?
homework. Have you
No, I
seen
don't want homework. I'm busy.
Have you seen The Hating Game?
I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
even know
that's
that
the
existed.
best
Existed.
enemies. That's a really good enemies show.
Yeah, it's a book
What is
turned
that?
movie. The
Oh,
Hating Game is so good. You should see it.
Okay. When did it come out? Where can I find it?
I think it's on Netflix a couple years ago. A couple
Um,
years ago now.
Isn't that movie Something's Got to Give a bit of an enemies to romance as well? Enemies to lovers as well.
God, I'm really not the rom
What
com person.
movie?
Sha.
The one
Um.
with Diane Keaton and
Oh, Jack
Jack
Black.
Nicholson.
Oh, Jack Nicholson. Jack Black. Does Crazy Stupid Love fall in
Oh
under
no,
any
it's
trope?
yeah, maybe. Yes, it is. Crazy
Mm,
Stupid Love will fall under yeah, I guess it is. It has a bit of an enemies to lovers kind
that's a
of.
great rom com.
This is
Crazy
an
Stupid
incredible
Love, I
film.
think, is one of the best rom coms because it can't be described by one trope only. I
Yep.
think it does.
Yeah.
It does use it has second chance romance as well. It has a lot of tropes in there. But Bankole, I
Oh,
think that second chance romance is your bag. I think
I
that is
yeah,
Mm.
that's
your
a bit
bag.
that's a bit too. I feel like that's too easy. That's a bit too easy. Yeah, like yeah, that like
It's
if you
second chance.
heard me talk about past lives, you know that that's a
I
bit too
mean,
easy.
it just is. But like, I mean, past lives is I guess it being done in some way. But like, I mean, like even the trashy second chance romance, you'll sit, you'll watch it, you'll be seated.
Eh,
Mm.
yeah.
Trust.
Um, a reason I don't like Jim and Pam as much is like I think you know what I hate.
Mm.
I hate when the stepping stone relationship is
Hmm.
fine. Like there's nothing actually wrong. We just because we have to end it because like I think Karen was fine. I don't think there's anything
Hmm.
wrong with Karen. Her name was
Hmm.
Karen, right? Yeah, her
Oh,
name was Karen.
I
Jim's
don't
partner?
know.
Yeah,
Okay, I thought you were talking
Jones,
about
Rashida
Pam.
Jones's
Yeah, yeah,
character.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think her name was Karen. So I don't like when we just
Um,
end that relationship because, like, is as
I don't.
opposed to Pam's
I
fiance, who was a terrible
disagree.
person.
It didn't end just because Jim had always wanted Pam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
It
the
didn't
annoying
end
thing.
just because
He's
he
ending
shouldn't
because
he shouldn't have
Pam is
gotten in that
there.
relationship with Rashida's character in the first place, and we knew that. But like, I wouldn't say it ended for no reason or just because. Like, Pam is who he's always wanted, and time and place, I guess he had to do what he had to do.
Anyway, you guys told me that you were watching this movie and some recommendations came to your head. So if we are nothing else if not a recommendations podcast, just throw out like two films that people can like.
Yeah.
Maybe if you liked How to Billy Walsh, go check this out. Or if you liked
Okay.
this movie, maybe you like
Hmm.
How to Billy Walsh. So
Yeah.
just throw a
Yeah.
Hmm.
few recommendations
Okay.
out.
Hmm.
You can go ahead, Aisha.
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. All right. So the first thing that came to my mind immediately was Ella Enchanted, which is a movie
Okay.
with Anne Hathaway and God forgive me, I forgot his name right now, but he's a very lovely looking man who did a really good job at acting this role. Fantastic job at acting this role. And Anne Hathaway is in it, and it's fantastic. It's basically a reimagination of Cinderella story, and it's got a talking book, but it's done amazingly, and it takes this kind of like stagey cottage corey kind of magical gleam that's really nice. So I would definitely
Hmm.
recommend Ella Enchanted. It's one of my favorite, and it's a
So
really good movie.
the the
Has some
male lead
singing too.
is the male lead is Hugh Dancy.
Yes,
Can't believe you forgot my
from
guy.
Confessions of a Shopaholic 2, the best
Or
dude.
also from Hannibal, Will Graham from Hannibal. Go watch Hannibal if you know what Hannibal.
Oh, please don't
Impeccable TV
let the
show.
let the women talk. Let the women talk for a second, please. Although Hannibal is really really good because Mads,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Naz is
So
great
like,
in that.
come on, I
Yeah,
mean
it's great in that.
Mads.
Okay, sorry,
Like,
your second recommendation.
if we're talking about specs, but anyway, keep going. The next
Mads Mikkelsen
one,
is your spec.
the next thing I recommend
Oh my
is
god.
Fast Times in Ridgemont High, which is a an 80s film, and
Mm-hmm.
it is kind of the origin of the teenage movie. It predates John Hughes. It predates, the Mean Girls and everything. It's like the
Mm-hmm.
OG teenage movie. It does it so well in terms of exploring teenage life, the American social landscape within high school, but also the complexities of a teenage girl, and it has uh uh I forgot her name
Sean
now.
Penn. I just looked it up.
Yeah, it has Sean
Jennifer
Penn
Jason
and
Lee.
yes, Jennifer
Jennifer
Jason Lee,
Jason Lee.
Jason Lee and Sean Penn, definitely, and it's so many actors actresses made their first entrance in that movie. It has American Girl being played, Tom Petty, amazing. Just it's a really good movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it's based on a book that was written, I think, by um almost famous dude, James, not James
Cameron
Cameron.
Crowe.
Cameron Crowe, yeah.
That's funny.
Not James
James
Cameron.
Cameron.
I mixed up the Cameron. Sorry,
Yeah,
Cameron Crowe, and
Cameron Crowe. Yeah.
he wrote that book by going undercover in a high school and like studying it, and then the
Hmm.
movie was made based on the book, and the book is nowhere to be found. I've been trying to find that book. So if
What?
anyone can find that
Oh,
book,
okay.
please tell me, because I've been trying to find that book my whole life. So yeah, those are my two
Fair enough.
recommendations. Yeah.
Okay. Lolade.
Um, Mine are one of them is going to be a show. If you liked, actually,
Mm,
it's a movie. Sorry, if you like the series, To All the Boys I've Loved Before,
yes.
you
Hmm.
you will enjoy this. Um, it's fun. Like I said, it's a teenage high school romance.
That's Lana Condor, right?
Yes, that's Lana Condor
Yes.
and Noah
And
Kelsey
Noah
Centineo.
Centineo. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Centineo.
Where did
Yeah.
he go? Where's Noah these days? Man.
I don't
I think he
know.
did a
He had that
Netflix
show.
show,
Yeah, that
movie. Yeah. He
I
did a
forgot the
Netflix show.
name. Yeah, he was
One
like
of
a
those shows that
CIA
gets that
agent.
becomes number one over
Yeah,
the weekend and nobody talks about it again 10 days later.
yeah, yeah. That one. What other show? If you're into like teenagers just being annoying, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we do like to watch
Yeah.
that. If you liked
Mm-hmm.
The Summer I Turned Pretty,
Yes.
you'll
Which
like
is very
this one.
popular.
Yeah.
Also on Prime Video, isn't it? So
Also on
we,
Prime Video.
we
Yep.
pulled
Mm-hmm.
it back with the
Yep.
corporate synergy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also on Prime Video.
Yes.
um, okay. Thank you for the recommendation. Thank you for the homework. I will not be doing any of it. Was never really a good student. Um,
Ooh.
Wow. What a shame.
but yeah, no.
How surprising.
I think we need to clear some. I need to clear some space for you guys to have your rom com episode.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Um,
please.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because I might be. I'm not anti rom com. I genuinely enjoy rom com. I just remember that our February 14th episode this year was us talking about cheating men. So maybe I need to fix up,
You
and
know
allow
what,
some
actually,
space for.
like there are a lot of things that you need to, we need to kind of impact on you and
This
influence you
this
with.
is
But
not this is
it's
not a therapy
okay.
session. This is not a
It's
therapy
okay.
session.
No, no, wait.
Um,
It's okay because we are certified Bene Gesserit. So we believe in ourselves and we
Yep.
believe that we're going to get you there.
You
I am
will
So
be
Paul.
watching those
don't you
I
worry
movies.
am
about it.
Paul. When I shout silent, you will know I am.
Well, you are Paul and there's still a Lady Jessica, who, by the way, is still a
That
real
is true.
valid competitor.
That is true.
So,
That is true. Love all Rebecca Ferguson love that she's been getting the last few weeks. People are both from the movie and just like her press run. Okay, guys, this was very fun talking about the regime with you guys. I think this was the perfect, actually the perfect show for our combination of energies or just the way we're feeling this month. So I really enjoyed covering the show with you guys. Yeah, thank you for doing How to Be the Walsh with me. Yeah, and guys for listening. If you managed to stay 6 weeks in, thank you very much.
thank
Um,
you.
Thanks,
this is I can
guys.
see this is a show that even if you enjoy it, I can see you just like I'll watch it at my own pace and I won't listen to podcasts. So thank you very much if you listened this far.
Hmm.
YouTube, same thing. Go check out How to Date Billy Walsh or go check out the recommendations that Ayisha and Lolade gave inspired by the film. And join us next week. We'll be talking about more TV. There's so much TV coming out right now. Like I said last week, Shogun is still going on. We're not covering it, but please check out Shogun. It's really good.
Yeah,
There's
please check out Shogun. It's amazing.
I need to try and clear some time
Best
on
on
my
TV right
schedule,
now.
just because of life, so I can do. Yeah, so I can do this newsletter because there's a bunch of shows that are out right now that we're just not covering, but they're also good shows. So please check all of that out. And yeah, Aisha Lolade, thank you very much. And guys, join us next week, and I'll be joined by my friend to lover, Daniel Kaluuya. Bye,
Gone, but
guys.
our love will stay with you.
Yes, bless
That
our
is true.
love.
Bless our love. Bye,
Bless our
guys.
love. Bless our love.